5 key differences between INFJ males and INFJ females. Today, we will be looking at the 7 core differences that you can find between INFJ type males and INFJ type females. If you have been trying to figure out what core differences are between you and your gender counterpart, who's also an INFJ person, then this one's for you. INFJ are emotionally vulnerable, so they do not let many people into their lives for fear of disappointment. They are very selective in the kind of people they choose to keep in their social circles and the ones they decide to leave out. So it is very important for an INFJ type individual to find the right partner, perhaps by looking at their Myers-Briggs personality types. INFJ type individuals are highly aware of their mental states and their personal growth. They will continuously look up new ways of becoming a better person or learning more things to broaden their horizons. This is why INFJ type individuals do a lot of research during their spare time. This research is focused primarily on Enneagrams and Myers-Briggs personality types. However, while you are trying to navigate your way through what you can and cannot do for your INFJ type counterparts, some things are bound to be overlooked, especially when you are focusing on what similarities you have between yourself and an INFJ that has the opposite gender to yours. The differences can be hard to pinpoint, which is why throughout this video, we will be sharing the different personality traits that set apart the male INFJ character from the female INFJ type person. We hope that with the help of this video, you can navigate through your relationships a little better. But before we get started, please remember to take a quick second and support our content by liking, subscribing, and turning the notification bell on. This helps us create more videos like this for your entertainment. If you're all set, then let's get down to the most important tips of how you can find the right person for your personality type's needs and get one step closer to achieving a peaceful and happy relationship that proposes utmost compatibility for both parties involved. All in all, the INFJ personality type is very specific with traits in and of itself. Therefore, the female has obvious key differences than the male counterpart. But this is what makes INFJ people one of the most interesting MBTI types, since there is so much to discover about them. And if you look closely enough, you can easily spot at least one of the traits we mentioned earlier in people who are part of your daily life. Number 1. INFJ males tend to suppress their emotions more, whereas INFJ females show emotions more. Societal beliefs often condition different genders to stick to some specific behavior called gender norms. These gender norms dictate how a person can and cannot act in theory. However, gender norms are highly unrealistic where human emotion is concerned, because you can't exactly tell your sadness to go away thinking guys can't cry. Similarly, women can't simply quit their jobs and stick to being housewives because this is the womanly thing to do. Such beliefs are out of this time period and are looked down on in most countries. But sadly, these beliefs are still engraved into the minds of individuals to this day, which is why you might come across a man suppressing his emotions or a woman trying to come off as more manly to find herself a more patriarchally respectable position in society. This is mostly common in the INFJ community, since one of the key differences between the male and female counterparts is that they express their emotions in obviously different ways. The INFJ male tends to shut out everyone and everything in order to cope with his feelings silently. This stems from past experiences mostly, and especially because guys are told they should be less sensitive or be the man of the house. Men are often expected and raised to be dependees for the feeble, and once they fall into a state of deep emotion themselves, the society we live in has them believe that they become the dependee. Whereas female INFJs express their emotions more boldly to be seen and heard. Society perceived women as beings that were weak and in need of care for the longest time. While that proved to be an issue in many aspects, emotional displays weren't one of them. In fact, women were encouraged to show emotion so that they would be able to court men better. This created the most obvious key difference between male and female INFJ type people. As a result, the former became less capable of communicating or understanding their emotions, whereas the latter embraced it as a highlighted quality. Number 2. INFJ females are more prone to displaying masculine traits to be accepted by society, but INFJ males can be themselves more comfortably. Social conventions do not just apply to emotional behavior, but also physical and social behaviors as well. To take it one step further, almost all of your daily human interactions probably rely on these conventions as well, which is why INFJ women find it harder to feel like they are an accepted part of society than INFJ men do. INFJ-type people are introverts who often need external validation and encouragement to achieve the things they are internally capable of or the things that they are seeking. But living in a society where the vast majority leans towards the belief that women are incapable makes it hard for INFJ women to thrive as who they really are. For example, if an INFJ woman wants to be a scientist, they might often come across a limiting belief from a loved one or relative that she is not smart enough to achieve this goal of hers, whereas a male counterpart would be likely to receive more encouragement and support than they could imagine, because the society we live in functions with the belief that science-related professions are more fitting for male individuals. This is why INFJ tend to limit themselves and lead a more secluded and socially disengaged life in comparison to the INFJ men. While this isn't always a true statement, and it severely depends on how much of an introvert an individual is, it also differentiates between INFJ men and women to a great extent. Number 3. INFJ women are better at relating to women than INFJ women. INFJ men may come across as if they are flirting with every girl they know, but this is often an illusion because INFJ men tend to be timid. The only reason why these intuitive individuals are able to feel more comfortable around their female counterparts is that they find it easier to relate to women. Since most women have a more easygoing and understanding nature in comparison to some men, INFJ males are often quick to form relations with such individuals. Their slow and gentle approach towards sensitive subjects is appealing to the INFJ-type man, so he is able to focus on just being himself instead of trying to make a good impression. Female INFJ individuals, however, often describe this as a struggle they face on a daily basis. Since they are skeptical and closed-off individuals, INFJ women tend to expect the worst of any other female that they have no prior relation to. As a result, they are more drawn to male friends or pets that they can spend time with. This then becomes another clear distinction between the INFJ male and the INFJ female. They struggle with same-sex individuals and feel drawn to opposite gender counterparts. Number 4. INFJ women navigate relationships better than INFJ men because they are less afraid of rejection. Women in general tend to have to deal with rejection more regularly than a man does. Since we live in a rather male-dominant society, women face rejection from a number of things, including their jobs and romantic feelings. Therefore, it takes them a shorter period of time to gauge whether something is going to work out or not. This helps INFJ women navigate their relationships significantly better than INFJ men can. The truth is, the more you have to face rejection, the more you will feel like you can overcome it and quickly find alternatives that will still give you your desired outcome. And since women are more apt at dealing with rejection after the stage of being afraid to make their next move, they will recover faster and navigate better through the different relationships and experiences that life presents them with. This, however, does not seem to be the case for their male counterparts, since men are often perceived as qualified. Such instances result in men being used to getting what they want. When a male INFJ faces rejection, they will be more quick to come to the conclusion that the world is falling apart. Their fear of repeating past mistakes and getting rejected again starts to set them back from possible progress. Therefore, INFJ individuals seem to make less progress in different areas of their lives when compared to the INFJ-type female. Once they are rejected, they will start to withdraw themselves from the projects they have at hand, since they will begin to feel like they are not good enough. This draws a clear line between the INFJ man and the INFJ woman in that the male attitude towards success and rejection is strictly affected by their own feelings, and the female attitude seems to be less about giving up and more about trying again. Number 5. INFJ women are more prone to seeing potential in a person than INFJ men. With all this being said, given their hormonal differences in genetics, men and women have different levels of emotive energy. Therefore, the female counterparts are more likely to approach things with an extra dose of sentiment. This is most evident when it comes to giving people second chances or trusting them, despite there being little credentials to show. While we mentioned how women are skeptical towards people they do not know, they will also give them countless chances to better their actions should anything go wrong. However, men are the exact opposite of this and start out with such little skepticism towards people, yet if they encounter an instance they are not able to tolerate, they will be quick to dismiss the person for good. Being an INFJ type individual highlights such qualities in both men and women. Because both parties are intuitive, they will hold on to their strengths closely. And in such a case, the strong quality they hold on to will be their intuition. Since INFJ type individuals have such high hopes for their intuition not failing them, they will be likely to trust their gut before anything else. As a result, they might often find themselves giving numerous chances to people who slip up. Sometimes the opposing party is genuine and this works out, but sometimes the person that an INFJ has chosen to believe in can prove to be a disappointment. INFJ men will take this hit easier, but their female counterparts may not always have the best reaction to being misled. This will set them apart from one another in situations of conflict. And that marks the end of our video. Do you have any other tips of attracting a high-value man? Share them with our community in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed watching this, then be sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up. Want to be the first to know when we have a new video? Then turn on the bell to be notified every time we upload one. Finally, if you're looking for something to binge on, you can click on the video that's currently on your screen. We'll see you in our next video.